Hi, welcome back to Curry Soup. So, what just happened there was a medical condition called anosmia, the inability to detect odor. Though it is not known to many people, not up until recently, where the loss of sense of smell has been apparent in 60% of coronavirus cases. So, one of the few causes of anosmia would be if you had a severely stuffed nose, and it could just be from a normal cold or a very severe cold, but it varies from person to person. For some people, it could just be a non-cancerous growth in the nose and the sinus, which is blocking the nasal passage. For others, the loss of smell comes when you have an injury to the nerves from a surgery or head trauma from an accident. We also mustn't overlook old age, because as you grow older, your sense of sight and hearing will be slowly impaired throughout time. So does your sense of smell. Other related diseases that have been known to cause complications of the loss of sense of smell would be Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and multiple sclerosis. In many cancer patients where they had just gone through radiation therapy, either in the head or in the neck, most of them would experience the loss of sense of smell too after some time, leading them to have the loss of appetite. In rare cases, it's congenital anosmia, meaning to say it's you had it ever since you were born. Moving on to the effects of anosmia on daily life experiences. You can't taste certain food properly like how you normally do, leading some people into eating too much or too little. You can't even drink beverages like coffee and tea normally. Like if you give someone who has anosmia Americano or a cappuccino and you ask them to tell the difference, it just tastes like mucky, bitter water to them. You give them Earl Grey or Lipton tea, they won't even be able to tell the difference just because they lost their sense of smell. Research has shown that the eating experience is lowered to 25% only when you lose your sense of smell. It doesn't matter how good the food looks or how good the texture is, and even though you can still taste true taste, which is saltiness, bitterness, sourness, and sweetness, and savory taste of umami, it's just not the same without the sense of smell, because most food requires the sense of smell to give you the full experience of the food. People with anosmia is also unable to recall smell-related memories. Let's say if one of your friends asked you about whether or not you remember the smelly toilet back there, and or how good the coffee smelled like, how good was the food earlier. In many cases where people have their significant other, meaning to say couples or married couples, they lose their intimacy with their significant other just because they couldn't smell. Because in a relationship where you couldn't smell perfumes, you couldn't pick up the pheromones that are being released from another human being to you. People with anosmia also experience a lack of empathy from families and friends, especially during social gatherings like family dinners, birthday parties, where everyone is just talking about the food or the beverages or how good was this or how good was that, did you try it already or something like that. It makes them to be hesitant when they are asked to go out to eat with their friends, because they don't think that they would enjoy the moment the same as how their friends would, just because they couldn't smell. The worst part is also they are unable to detect body odors. Let's say if their body is smelling really bad and they are going out with their friends to hang out, they don't even know that they smell bad, and then their friends would give them some kind of different look, and then probably in the future they don't want to hang out with him anymore, and then that could cause some minor depression, which could lead into something big or worse. Having anosmia, as if I were to imagine, basically means you lose the simple comforts of what you are looking for. The dangers of having anosmia. Let's say there's food that has been stored in the refrigerator. What if it's spoiled? You won't know that it's spoiled because you don't have the sense of smell. Some food or beverages don't even look spoiled. until you drink it, eat it, and you swallow it into your stomach. Then the next day you feel something wrong with your stomach, and then you get food poisoning. Because some food really requires your sense of smell to tell whether it is spoiled or not. What if there was a gas leak, like what happened in the beginning? What if your house is already on fire and you can't smell the smoke? Your whole house burns down. What if there are tons of termites living in your house, in your cupboards, up in your ceiling, and you can't smell the naphthalene that they are secreting through their body, which is poisonous to our lungs? What if one day you going for a hike in the jungle with your friends, and you wander off alone, and suddenly you come across a flower, and you don't know the pollen of the flower is actually poisonous, and you inhale it? We made this video just to raise awareness among people all around the world, because there are people who suffer from this illness. It could maybe be your friend or someone close to you, or someone who you meet in the future. This video is to show you that how you can understand and not treat them like some sort of alien who doesn't belong in your friend cycle. For me, I think it's often because we never experienced it. We don't understand it. We can't perceive it. We don't care about it. Therefore, we take it for granted. So, be appreciative towards your sense of smell and also your other senses. Okay, so I'm going to be putting out a series of 5 episodes regarding our 5 basic senses. This would be the first one, the sense of smell, and the next 4 will be out in the upcoming weeks. So, what did you think of the video? If you like the content, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and share this video to your friends and families and to whoever that you may know, so that people would be more aware of unfortunate people who suffer from these illnesses, so we can treat the people around us with kindness if we ever encounter people with these illnesses. Until then, smell you later.